And tell the people that you're happy to eat today.
What's up, good executive Vipo? I gotta check and see what I'm doing. I forgot how I set this up. I don't know if I'm streaming only on Patreon or I think I shared this link. Did I share this link? I can't even remember. Oh, hold on. I was sending out another notification. Yeah, I'm gonna send this one out. I don't know, it's so early. I ain't gonna worry about that one. That time zone is too early. What's going on to everybody who is here? This is a different setup, and I'm still trying to get used to it because this is YouTube has a new feature called the vertical lives, and so they're basically creating something else for us to do. So I'm trying to figure it out. I wanted to test it out with y'all over here. Hold on, I need to get to my YouTube page to see what it's looking like over there. And then I'm gonna get into a few hot topics just because I want to see how it works to share these things with y'all on this vertical format. And then later today, I'm actually gonna do a live stream watch party with the Who the F Did I Marry series, which has gone absolutely bonkers and viral. Hey, Mocha. Now that's odd. Seeing the comments at the top. Ooh, they always doing something. Lord Jesus. Okay, let me try to get into this live here from YouTube and see how this looks and works. Okay, I see it there. Am I sharing? You know what? Because I didn't do this over on, because this is a private link. Hold on. Get rid of those windows. Okay, that's gone. Let me bring this live chat down. Usually I do all this prep before. You watched the whole series. It's wild. I got to, I don't even know what part I got to, but it was like 2 hours in. And I didn't know it was 8 hours long. Yesterday, I only knew about the first 5 hours because that was the video series I was watching was 5 hours of it. And then when I, was it today? I think it was this morning when I was trying to figure out like how I'm going to share it, setting it up and all of that. That's when I realized that it's actually 8 hours long. But I didn't know how viral it was and that it's been out. It's a week already. There's actually news articles on it and everything. Sequoia saying you only watch 1 through 12. I think I probably, I don't know. Did I get that far? But I think I don't know. Did I get that far? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if I even got that far. Let me think. I got to the part. Let me think of the last part. I remember the houses. I remember the baby. I think I only got as far as when they were working with the realtor and they were trying to secure the $700,000 house. And I think that's when I was like, okay, let me check out because I needed to get ready for last night's live, which was took forever. I did not expect to be on par. I did not expect to be online 5 hours yesterday. I did not expect that to take that long. So I have a lot of work to do to put chapters to that and to also then chop that up. Like, good Lord Jesus. It was interesting and we definitely covered a lot, but that was not in my head. I thought maybe 2 hours. Maybe I could have seen 3. I did not expect us to be online 5 hours last night. You say it's 50 parts. Yeah. So I think we're not getting through all 50 parts today, though. I can pretty much guarantee that. Even the 5 hours, I'm like, ooh, how am I going to work out this 5 hours? Because I actually do need to do some work for my mentor last night. I'm sitting here reading y'all comments and multitasking, so sometimes I'm saying the words I'm reading. Shaquia, yeah, last night was a long live. Yes. Like I hadn't done a live in a long time, but I definitely wasn't trying to do that. But I wanted to get through that entire video of that, the entire reaction, mainly because of the fact that, it's in real time and I don't want to have to revisit that particular portion of it. But also, the tickets are on sale now and all of that. So I'm like, let me put all the information out. Then I can just chop it up and do whatever. So hopefully this weekend works out that way for me to be able to do that. Today I need to do some work. Let me see how I'm gonna share this now. Let me try to share this on in the text community. Let me see. Oh, I didn't check my poll yesterday to see if people were interested in the Nature Boy trial. Are you guys familiar with the Nature Boy trial? Good morning, Ville, Executive People. Hey, Shanice. Let me think. And it looks like this. Now they're saying this. One YouTuber is saying the husband speaks, and it's a 52-minute old video. So is the husband finally? That would be interesting. Mocha said, "You're not." I was following the Nature Boy cult because that was during the pandemic. I think I found out about it, or right after. I can't remember, but I was following it a little bit, not detailed, not moment by moment. Oh, the other thing that's coming out, I'm noticing all these videos coming out about Porsha Williams divorcing Simon Guobadia, filing for divorce from Simon Guobadia. So I guess she did not know all these things about him. And what I was trying to figure out too with Simon is it that all this stuff is in the past and he used his scamming money to legitimize himself, or is he still a scammer? That part I'm not clear on because I haven't followed it closely. Let me send this. To this. What time is it? I'm gonna do a different time zone. It's too early on the West Coast. Okay, that's good enough. Send it now. What time? Yeah, I haven't sent it now. I'm on, so I might as well send it now. Send it now. Central. Last one, Eastern. Did I send the right link? Good Lord. I don't even know if I sent the right link. What am I doing? I did not. I didn't send the right link. I sent it. Hold on, y'all. I feel sloppy like Darius Crooks and the Three Kings. Oh Lord, now I gotta retype everything because I didn't copy that part. Okay. Now we're gonna try it again. We're gonna be like, what the hell you doing? Send it now. That was mountain time. Then central. The only reason I even noticed it was wrong because I'm looking at the thumbnails once they appeared in my list of messages I've sent. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the right thumbnail. I just sent out the wrong thing. That's central, right? Yeah, then Eastern. Send now. Okay. Let's see who's here. Says I heard about. I don't like how the comments are very small up here. So they're already small in the area that I click on them, and then usually when I click them on the screen, they're larger for me. I can see better, and this is not the case here. So I'm really struggling. Heard about Porsha this morning. Yeah, I just literally just heard about it. Probably the first time was 20 minutes or so ago. That's what Porsha's home wrecking behind gets. Oh well, yay. So okay, so with that, Shanice, the story so I felt that way in the beginning, like, oh, that's horrible that Porsha did that to this girl who was supposed to be her friend, meaning Phelan. However, the story is that Phelan was cheating on Simon as well, cheating on him with the assistant, and ended up getting pregnant by the assistant. So I don't know if they were both on some BS, meaning Simon and Phelan, but Phelan, it doesn't seem like she was innocent in that. It could be they were cheating on each other. It could be that he was neglecting or abusing her, which caused her to seek the love of another man, which happened to be their assistant. But her hands ain't clean in this. So I don't know how much Porsha was technically a home wrecker. I don't know. But this is very interesting that this would go down right after she signed the contract to rejoin the Housewives of Atlanta after what? Was it a 3-year hiatus? Right after, y'all. Right after. It's going to be a good season. It's setting it up to be a good season. Now, the show was going down and all that, and people's like, bring Porsha back. Bring Nene back. Bring, what's her name? Who else? Bring Nene, Porsha, and Phaedra back. So now they got Porsha. There's rumors about Phaedra, but not sure because she's over there on Married to Medicine. And then Nene, she's still in arbitration with Bravo. So she most likely ain't coming back right now, at least. But get her back, get Porsha back, and immediately there's all of this, like immediately, like within, it wasn't even a full week after they reported that Porsha signed the contract. You know, they were this whole thing about Simon came out. Saint Center is saying Kenya. Well, yeah, I was meaning like people who were gone. Kenya's still been with the show, so I know they were doing a recasting, but I'm talking about people who had left the show for a while, and those are the people, you know, that they wanted back. She's a gold digger anyway. I sense a little Porsha hate in the chat. Honestly, I'm gonna say this. I don't dislike Porsha, but I'm not like us. I'm not a flying monkey about Porsha either. So I'm like, I could be a realist, but I do like Porsha for the show, absolutely. And I do see gold digging tendencies within her, for sure. But I do like her, like as a character and all of that. But I sense you're like, whatever she get, she deserved. Whatever happened to her, she deserved. She was just looking at the money. I mean, because what else was there to look at? Because he wasn't nothing to look at. She's like, I'm gonna fix him so I can tolerate him. She got his teeth fixed. She got him a little liposuction. because he probably didn't lose that weight naturally. Shined his skin up a little bit, dressed him up a little bit more, because he used to look like a pretty much like a, you know, just regular old business 50-year-old businessman. So she jazzed him up a little bit. So I agree, you know, yeah. Mm-hmm. Hey, Margin. Saint Center. Hey, Saint Center. Hey, Minister Annette. And Maddie's mama. Everybody up in here this morning. Carol. I didn't think y'all was morning people. But you know what? I just opened this up to the VIP chat too. So that helps. The VIP text group. Usually this is Patreon. So even if Fallon was cheating, Porsha had no right to do what she did. Well, okay. So let's talk about this, friend. If Phelan and Porsha wasn't real friends. Now I know she was at her house at the pool. We saw that on the show at the pool party. I don't get that they were real friends. I hear you if they were real, absolutely real friends, but it seemed like they were friends for the show. You know how the show will create the producers when they bring in a new cast person, they always want an a current cast person to introduce them to the show. So what they will do is lie to us as the audience and say, Porsha and Fallon, Porsha, and they'll put under the caption, friend of Fallon, under the caption, friend of Porsha, when it ain't true. They not real friends. It's a setup. It's unscripted television, but it is scripted. The scene itself is scripted. We're going to have y'all go to the pool party, and then the producers are coaching them. Hey, Porsha, ask her what she think about Nene, you know, all that kind of stuff. So they are producing the show. So I'm not sure if, unless you know something I don't know, I don't know if they were real life friends. I think they were friends for the show. So if they're just friends for the show and they're not real friends, and this man and this woman, they separated, their marriage is obviously over, and you just like any other person eligible, is Porsha still wrong for dating this man who was getting a divorce, whose marriage was already over? Hey, Nicole. I don't think I spoke to Nicole. Hey, Deborah and Renee. Everybody up in here. Carol says Porsha knew what she was doing. Fallon was messing with the pool guy. He's not a pool guy. Somehow he got that title, but he was the assistant. He assisted. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he was Simon's assistant. Simon wasn't smart for hiring a more attractive man to be his assistant with his younger wife. That wasn't smart. But I think he was the assistant, and somehow people labeled him the pool guy. I know he was the assistant. Who she got pregnant with. Porsha might have seen this coming and said, let me get my bag and keep it moving. Yeah, that's how I'm looking at it, Carol. And then supposedly Porsha and Simon were acquaintances even prior to the, you know, all that going down. You know, who knows how true that part is. I wonder what the prenup looks like. Very true. How long have they been married, y'all? Has it even been 2 years yet? I don't even think it's been 2 years yet. Hey, Lorna. Hey, Cheryl. Who knows? Simon, Porsha, and Fallon have all lied, but Porsha is still wrong. wait, friend. Now I'm sorry. Again, I ain't no flying monkey when it comes to Porsha, but I don't dislike her. How we go from you to name three people, 3, and you said they all lied, and then you like, but Porsha wrong. Friend, I'm feeling like you're a little biased. Why you ain't saying, but they've all lied and they're all wrong? But you like, but Porsha wrong. Hey, Shanae. Is it Shanae? Shanae. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it. Deborah saying she is funny. Porsha, yeah, I like Porsha for the show. I'm excited that she's coming back. It's giving me some hope. I do hope that they keep Drew Sidora, because I feel like Although she's a liar too. Speaking of liars, she's a liar too. But she's from Chicago, so I got a little special place in my heart for her. She got the whole thing with Ralph, that drama, and I feel like with Drew, that if she has the right person to play off of, which I think Porsha could be, that she might lighten up a little bit. She might become just a little bit more transparent. Also, she's not having to hide the whole thing with her. And, well, in a way, they weren't hiding it. They couldn't have how dysfunctional they were, her and Ralph. But I just feel like if she gets somebody with some younger energy, I feel like she got more in her than she's really been giving us. So I'm excited about that. And I don't know how y'all feel. Let me know in the chat. But I'm not gonna miss. What was that girl name? It wasn't Sandra. What was her name? Sandra, Sandy, whatever her name was. The Jamaican runner. I ain't gonna miss her at all. She just wasn't giving it for me. And happy for her, hope the baby's healthy, happy, got all 10 toes, 10 fingers. But I don't care. I don't need to see the baby born. I've seen enough babies born on TV. I'm good. Shanice rather says, I ain't hate. I don't give a flying monkey about rackety sale. And that's clear for you. You made that clear. Two wrongs don't make right. Porsha doesn't know what an Underground Railroad was. Yeah. Porsha is a mess, but yes, go back to Real House of Atlanta. Definitely a gold digger. Yeah, I think we can agree with it. I mean, her first husband was an NFL player. Wasn't that attractive? Second husband, well, even baby daddy, she thought she was going to come up with him. He was a restaurateur. Wasn't that attractive? And then that didn't work out because he was also a serial cheater. And then she ends up with Simon. And Simon wasn't it attractive, but had the biggest bag out of all of them. Just didn't know it was built on a scampire. He was looking ashy before. Yeah. She shined him up. I think I said that. I think I specifically said she shined him up because he did look ashy, and she all of a sudden he was glossy in the pictures, like he had cocoa butter on, shea butter. I'm sorry, shea butter. Good morning, Delilah. Porsha made a big mistake marrying him. She didn't know everything about him. Yeah, and they kind of rushed to the altar too. Like, although she claims that she had known him prior to, them getting together, she was an associate with him, etc. She rushed to the altar with him. The sad part about it is that she has her daughter. So, and it looked like, at least from Instagram, it looked like he's definitely a part of her daughter's life, and she introduced him real early on, and it's like that's the piece of it. Now, I hate that when children are like involved and they get to know a person as a parent, a step parent, etc., and then that person is snatched from their life. Did I just read this one, or is this? I think it's the same one. Maybe. Hey Cheryl, maybe I didn't. I feel like I did. Didn't I just respond to that? I don't know, y'all. Hey, J Rave. Fallon was like, okay, watch. Hello. Iced it. Yeah, I'm sure that and maybe Fallon knew those things, and that was part of the reason why she was on her way out the door with the whole thing. Kara said you've been up since 5 a.m. I think I got up at 7, I think. Here to support always. Thank you, Saint Center. I think I'm gonna actually upload this to YouTube. I wanted to test this that's what I wanted to do too. I wanted to test this vertical YouTube feature. So that's why I wanted to do this test. Because I may be jumping on the YouTube live. So YouTube has a new feature, a new feature, which is in the shorts area where you can watch lives. It's like TikTok live. So you can just scroll and whatever. It then pushes us out to even more people, new viewers, etc. So my YouTube friend Michelle ATLN Brown told me about it the other day, and so I was like, okay, now I got to figure out how can I use yet another feature. It's so much, y'all. And so I thought about these. I could use this as a more informal conversation, just like we're doing, like talk about a topic, TV show, whatever's trending out there, and I don't have to do the official production like I try to do with everything else, which is part of the reason why it takes me so long to get content out to y'all. So yeah, I'm figuring out how I'm probably gonna use it, but now I want to see how it functions as well. So y'all can get used to me popping in the morning, etc., and doing this. And this will be more trending topics and stuff. But on my Patreon, I usually do a morning check-in video, and that's more personal. What's happening in my life, what I got going on, what the plans are, all those sort of things. Hey, y'all, I'm glad I caught this. Happy Friday. Hey, Gilda. Gilda, I don't think I've seen you in a minute. Well, hell, I ain't been on YouTube in a minute, so what I'm talking about. The truth is you ain't seen me in a minute, but hey, friend. They were not friends, but Porsha was thirsty. Okay, that's what I thought, Lorna, that they weren't real friends. That whole narrative was created for the purposes of the show. But yeah, okay, I agree with that. Again, I agree with that. I'm not no flying monkey when it comes to Porsha. Nobody, nobody, first of all. Gilda, so is it a new episode? Because I need to watch it. So is it a new episode? Are you talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Because if you are, no, it's not. This is what it is what they started doing for us. The new season is not out yet. Won't be out to what, y'all? Probably fall, maybe, I'm thinking. They might be taping now that they've announced who's actually on the show. Well, they didn't announce the entire cast. They announced most of the people. But anyway, the show is not out yet. What we're talking about is the stuff happening, brewing, that's going to end up on this coming season. But this stuff is happening in social media. So what they do, and it's curated, part of this is by design, where they create hype on social media so we don't forget about the show. And they're also piquing our interest so that when the show airs later this year, then we're like, oh my God, I can't wait to see what really happened behind the scenes when Porsha filed for divorce from Simon. And then we get to see the scenes of the day she went to the attorney or when it hit the blogs about him being a scammer. And she over there on the fake phone calls with the friends, and talking to her mama and all that. So they building us up for that. So the ratings are good. Fallon says they were cool and hung out before the show. But were they friends, Shanice? I hear you, friend. But were they friends? There's people I got people I've known 20 years and have gone and been at clubs with them, met up, hung out in groups with them. But I wouldn't consider them a friend. And if they end up breaking up with their spouse, their boyfriend, or whatever, it ain't off limits to me. We ain't friends. We ain't friends. We're associates. So, however, my friends, that'd be different. So that I don't know. I'm asking more than anything. Gilda said, yeah, because some of them don't even meet until they start. Exactly. Then they be talking about something. Yeah, so and so we live in the same neighborhood. Meanwhile, they 30 minutes away from each other. It's this TV, y'all. It's TV. Cheryl said they need to end ATL Housewives. It's not good like before. Blasphemy, friend. No. Quit giving up. You can't give up on love. You cannot give up on love. You can't run from a relationship because you hit a rough patch. That's not how that works. This is why marriages don't last now. Y'all give up too quickly. No, I feel because the show was good. It was great. It was epic. It's legendary. It hit a rough patch. They made some mistakes along the way. They've changed production companies, crews, all that. It's been some mistakes, and they have to find their level, re-level themselves. I feel like we need to give them a chance to fix it. And the truth is, they say even with the ratings that they currently had last season, which were the lowest they've ever had, those ratings were still higher than the other shows like the Married to Medicines and maybe even Potomac. I'm not sure 100% about that. But those ratings were still higher. So, yes, their ratings were very low compared to their peaks, but still higher than some of the other shows that they still keep on Bravo. And I do agree. I'm not saying that I was like enthralled by every episode this past season, but I enjoyed it enough to say, let's get him a chance, get him time to fix it. They didn't know each other. They were friends for the show. Porsha said that. Yeah, that's what I thought. I know I heard that. Hey, Jennifer. The Housewives series destroys marriages. I think kind of reality TV in general, like you can look at even other types of shows and stuff. It's basically because it's, for one, it's you got to create somewhat of a fake narrative to be interesting enough for TV, because our real lives, even their real lives, are boring. They're not that interesting on a consistent basis. So in a way, they got to hype up the drama. The other piece is, once you invite the public into your relationships, and until you're on this side of the screen, not saying I'm not nobody celebrity or nothing, but I am a person who has put myself out in front of the public, which is so much different than anything else I've ever experienced, where you have people putting their thoughts on your every move, and even innocent moves, even, whatever. It's a lot. And so that's one of the reasons I'm so kind of private when it comes to my real life, is because of that. I see what that can do when the public gets a hold of it. They want to like chew it up and spit it out, kind of thing. So I think that's a great part of it as well. Even from the perspective of just the general judgment of the public, and people be like, just ignore them. It's not that easy. I wish it was, but it's not. That, but also, like, when you look at those people as they become bigger, especially the men and stuff, you have, well, I'll say men and women, but you have some of these people see these perceivable successful relationships on TV, and then they in the DMs of the husbands and stuff, sending naked pictures. I could treat you better than her, and all those sort of things. It's a lot. It's a lot of layers to it. Now they investigating these people's background, and that stuff you did when you was a teenager. Now they bringing up you shoplifted and got, all of those things. It's a lot of weight for those people that are on those sort of shows. And so that's in part of why those relationships end up not lasting. Shanice is saying Porsha acted like that was her first time at the house and was about to open the door and walk right in on the cameras, had to catch herself. I forgot that piece. I remember her going to the house for the pool party, but I don't remember the specifics of the scene. But yeah, I can see that. It's for sure. They actors. Even the mock one from Kevin Hart had real life divorces. Oh, you're talking about what was it? The Real Husbands of Hollywood or something? House Husbands of Hollywood, whatever they were calling it. Yeah. Well, hell, even just outside them being celebrities in general, all of them have even like, you just look at comedians in general, actors and stuff. The marriages they had when they were coming up end up ending at a certain point, and then they trade up and trade out, or trade out and trade up into a different marriage. It is all fair in love and war. Right. Well, yeah, Devon, that's, yeah, when it comes to the whole Fallon Porsha thing, again, if they have been best friends or friends for real, and then Porsha did that, I would be looking at her a little more side-eyed than I am as her getting with her coworker's man, because that's basically what she did. She got with her coworker's man. Did she actually have a baby by him, Fallon? Meaning, Gilda, are you asking if Fallon had a baby by her husband's assistant, aka the guy they were calling the pool boy? Absolutely, she did. And they got together and were in a relationship for what, a couple years, y'all? Somebody said 15 months. Oh, it's coming next. 15 months for Simon and Porsha. So not even quite 2 years. But yeah, but Fallon did have a baby by the male assistant. They ended up being in a relationship for maybe a couple years, maybe. But then he went to the blogs and even did a couple interviews saying that she was she groomed him and she's a narcissist and a predator and all these other things. And he got a baby by her and he's out there saying those things about her. She even went as far as to create I'm a groomer t-shirts, you know, because everybody now has learned, you know, Darius Crooks will do this stuff too, but everybody has learned that when they get into these internet beefs, they try to figure out a way to capitalize off of it. So they create merch and stuff connected to it. So she did that. Probably not over. Yeah. So we know about 15 months for Simon and Porsha. Remember Dennis and Simon were cool. So Porsha knew Fallon and was well acquainted. Okay. Are you saying this is a fact, friend Shanice? Or because I can have somebody, my spouse can be cool with somebody and they can have somebody and we might, I don't know, have passed each other or even gone out, but that don't make me be well acquainted with their spouse or their significant other just because I can name many situations. I got my closest friends who they're in relationships and I ain't close to I wouldn't even consider myself well acquainted with their significant others. And we've hung out. I got a friend we were at a dinner the other week and they had their significant other on FaceTime. And, you know, he was kind of speaking to us all. And I was having a little banter about something we was all talking about. I don't even know the dude like that. I've had many little quick conversations with him. And somebody might say, oh, you've known him over a decade. Y'all, I know y'all well acquainted. No, we not. I couldn't even tell you how many siblings he got. So, but unless you know something I don't know, but I'm just saying in general terms, just because somebody's with somebody who you know, don't mean y'all well acquainted. Nobody's innocent in this. I'm going to go with Jennifer's statement. That's kind of how I feel about it. Simon ain't innocent, Fallon ain't innocent, and Porsha ain't innocent. And neither is the pool boy. Porsha was smart enough to get a prenup and get her bag. Do we know this to be factual, Carol? Do we know this to be factual? Because what I heard about what happened with Fallon is that I don't know, Fallon has some fallacies that she's told as well. But from what she was saying, she basically got nothing from Simon. I don't even know if I think she just got the bare minimum. And did they even have any children together? I can't remember. But she got like the bare minimum. From what I heard, he was very creative in figuring out a way that she wouldn't get anything. So I don't know if Porsha was able to outsmart Simon in that way. Are you watching the Nature Boy trial? I don't like him, but it's an interesting case. I watched some of it yesterday, Gilda, but for me, I don't have after the Tim Norman trial, like 8-hour days, I can't sit and watch no whole trial like that. So I probably watched maybe 2 hours of it yesterday. I know Nick at Night is streaming it, and then it's like streaming on other like the regular court TV type YouTube channels. My plan is to summarize them. So I have a way to kind of quickly go through those things and summarize it. So I do want to talk about it, but I'm definitely not going to sit here and watch it. It's too much. But it is interesting, even yesterday, hearing the testimony of one of the women who were essayed by him, who was a part of the code, and her kind of explaining. So I caught bits and pieces of her testimony. It seemed like it was two different people whose testimony I heard, I feel like. So, yeah. Or maybe it was one lady's testimony, but I heard the original examination, then a cross-examination. It could be that. I think that's what I'm confusing. At least Drew had an interesting storyline. Drew did have an interesting storyline, but in some ways it was in spite of her. Because I felt like she was so busy trying to keep up appearances that she wasn't letting everything out. And then every once in a while she would break down and she couldn't hold it back. And she had to, let it out that, Ralph was gaslighting. We saw that from their first episode of the show. We was like, that dude gaslighting her. What is happening? So But yeah, I love their storyline. Well, her storyline. Ralph can go about his business for all I care. He's attractive as all get out, but he scares me. He's psycho. Like allegedly, he got something up here. Like it's something, and it make him ugly to me. They all lied and they are all wrong. I agree. Porsha is still a home wrecker. A home wrecking weasel. Big liar. And she gay on the low. Are we talking about Porsha? Okay. Oh yeah, I forgot. Porsha says she's definitely dipped in the lady pond a few times. I forgot about that. Questions: are Ralph and Drew finally divorced? That I don't know. I haven't really paid attention. I'm way behind on the comments as I'm going down. I'm like, y'all talking about Sanya, whose name I couldn't remember like 20 minutes ago. Yeah, literally 20 minutes. I'm looking at the time y'all sent these chat messages. It's 20 minutes later. Vale, what do you think about the prosecutor in Atlanta who hired her boyfriend on the Trump case, and now she's in court herself? You're talking about y'all help me with that name. Jesus, why my brain? I know who it is. I watched the her testimony when I was flying back from my trip. Fanny. The thank you, Saint Center. I just saw it. Yeah, so I watched her testimony. It was really interesting, but honestly, I didn't know anything about that until I happened to see that clip. So I was able to watch her whole, 2.5-hour testimony through my trip when I was flying back home. Fannie Willis, thank you, Devon. So yeah, it's very interesting. I want to still see the testimony of her father and the ex-boyfriend, because even while I was watching her testimony, I was like, what is happening here? And then once I, by the end, had wrapped my mind around what was happening, I still was like, man, I haven't been following the story. So I then started making the connections that she was the prosecutor in Georgia who got up there at the podium and she was running down all of Trump's charges from Georgia. And we was like, yeah, get him, get him, get him, get him. I remembered that, like, all of a sudden I was like, oh, she that woman. But I didn't know that they was coming for her in that way. So I didn't make the connection till the end. But it's interesting and I'm very interested to talk about it. So, but I got to educate myself on it. I'm just not, I only know what I heard through her testimony at this point. But it was good. It was good. It was real good. I'm thinking back to it a little bit. But that was, what did I see? I would have watched that. I watched that on Saturday. Would I fly home on Saturday? Yeah, I flew home on Saturday. So I watched that on Saturday. And was rumored to be gay. I think you're talking about Porsha here. Can't believe Candace not coming back. Candace? Can't believe Candace not coming back. Candace? Are we talking about Potomac? Did you jump to Potomac, Gilda? Because that's the only Candace in Housewives that I can think of. And I hadn't heard that yet. I didn't know that. And I actually was catching up with that this week. I think I'm on the last episode of Housewives of Potomac. Because really all I watch when it comes to the Housewives shows is Atlanta, Potomac, and then I watch Married to Medicine. That's it. Years ago, I used to watch Beverly Hills, and even more years, like 10 years ago, I used to watch Jersey as well. But I haven't watched those shows in a decade. Well, I can't say Beverly Hills hasn't. Well, hell, it's almost. Oh, next year will be a decade for Beverly Hills. Actually, no, probably this year or last year. So yeah, about 10 years. I like Sanya when she had her own show. Her husband is fine. I like them. I think I watched her show years ago, but I just kind of don't remember. And I think I liked it a little bit, but I just don't really remember. She used that dollar store cocoa butter. This is her third. This is her third marriage. Whose third marriage? Porsha? Porsha only been married to whose third marriage? Because I'm like, Porsha only been married twice, if I'm not, unless I'm forgetting something. Just hope she didn't spend her bag on that wedding. Yeah, I'm hoping that he actually did flip the bill for that wedding. I mean, the truth is that that wedding was also sponsored by People magazine. I'm not sure whatever. I'm pretty sure they had a bunch of, excuse me, with her celebrity. I'm pretty sure they had a bunch of sponsors for that video. I mean, for that wedding. But whatever else they had to chip in for, I'm hoping that he covered that as well. Vel, have you heard anything about new with Miss Robbie, new restaurant? I have not. With Miss Robbie's new restaurant, the only thing that I'm aware of is that they were still doing the build out and waiting on permits, but there's some issue. She want to acquire the building next to them. That home, not that homeowner, but that property owner, it has not been responsive, so they're trying to possibly do eminent domain to take over that property. I think she wants it for her parking lot. I don't know. But yeah, it's still in the process. It's nothing, it's a bunch of red tape stuff kind of happening right now. I like being able to talk to you all in a more intimate way. Yes, this is great. I do like this for that. So we will definitely be doing more of this. Because I love Patreon, but the problem with Patreon is, well, for one, I'm way more personal than I'll ever be on this side. But the other thing is everyone doesn't have access to be able to hop in. So I do like this as well. So we can do some morning chats and all of that and just talk about random stuff. Y'all can also help me realize what y'all more interested in us talking about as well. There's a lot of new technologies going on. Well, yeah, I mean, there's always technology going on. This is the 21st century. We in the 22nd century? I don't know, 22nd century. But yeah, it's always a ton of 21st century. The ton of technology. These platforms are all in competition with each other, and they're trying to all stay viable. And so that is the reason why YouTube has started to adapt a lot of features that these short form platforms have. So like the Instagrams and TikTok. That's why they invented this feature, because people are getting more the short form content where you just swipe, keep swiping is more appealing to the human nature, all of that other stuff, and the younger demographic. And so they're like, they're trying to move into it as well. And then we have to keep adapting our content to be able to fit all these different formats. And then yet the old formats don't really go away, because there are people who enjoy the long form content, like what we did last night, not 5 hours of it. They don't want 5 hours of it necessarily. Although the views stayed the same throughout our whole entire 5 hours. I kept looking at the numbers. That was how I was gauging, like, should I cut this off? The views was like pretty stable the entire time. So there are people who enjoy that as well as something like this, where once I'm done, you just swipe to the next person who's live. And then some of y'all viewing this from the regular YouTube like normal. So you kind of like, what you talking about swiping? This also has that format, the YouTube vertical format, where you could just keep swiping. I did want to share though. I'm gonna share, actually, for those of you who don't know what the hell I'm talking about when I said the Why the F Did I Get Married series. I want you to see, I'm gonna just play one. I ain't gonna even play the whole thing. Hold on. I thought I had it ready, primed and ready. Hold on, let me pull it. No, it's right here. Why ain't it showing? Hold on. I'm gonna show you a little short clip of what we'll be watching. And I'll be multitasking. I'm gonna sit here and be watching and working, and also I'll do commentary in between some of them. What the hell? I got way too many windows open. This is crazy. Okay, yeah, I gotta close some of these windows. There's no way it should be taking me this long to find this. Why am I looking at it here, but it ain't showing up here? Oh, here it is. I skipped over it. So here's the video. Okay, I wanted to see how. See, this is what I don't like how it looks because it's so tiny. Oh, but I'm gonna share it differently. I forgot. I decided. So when I do the vertical and I'm sharing a screen with y'all, it makes me tiny. And then even the screen I'm sharing, unless it's horizontal, if it's vertical, you get all this black around. This is just too much. But anyway, here is the Who the F Did I Marry video. And I'm gonna just play a little bit of it so y'all know what we'll be live watching a little later. At 11, what did I put? 11:35 Central, I think. So it'd be 12:35 Eastern, and then we'll be on for some hours. So even if you can't watch it from the beginning or right away, we'll be on for some hours. I'm gonna try my best to get through the whole 5 hours. So there's a chance I'll be on for 5 hours straight again.
Hi, and welcome. We all know why you're here. You're here for part of the new series that I'm calling Who the Fuck Did I Marry? I'm going to create this playlist series, and I'm going to tell the story of how I met, dated, married, and divorced a real pathological liar. This is my introduction / disclaimer video. First and foremost, I'm going to be truthful, even if it makes me look bad. I'm going to be honest, but I'm also not going to be disrespectful to anyone that was involved. I'm not going to use people's real names because I don't have their permission to do so, and the sister does not want any sort of litigation. I will tell you off the top, I have a sense of humor and I have sarcasm. So things that you see me laughing at, none of this is funny. But in order to get through it, I have to laugh. If I cry, I cry. I'm human. I'm a woman. This was traumatic. I'm going to do the best I can to upload as much of the story as I can, because I know people get so annoyed with the follow for part 4, follow me for part 17. I'm just going to do the best I can to keep uploading the videos each at a time. I'm going to go in order from the time we met until the time I got our divorce decree in the mail. So that is a lot of time to cover. Please give me the grace to just get it out. It may not be all in one day. It may not be all in 2 days. But what I can tell you is even if you don't necessarily see a video, I'm probably recording it and then I will upload it into the playlist titled, Who the Fuck Did I Marry?
Okay, so I just wanted to show y'all that little quick intro, and then I'm gonna get back because we're just chit chatting around here. So Michelle Withers is saying, "I like the old format." Michelle, this is not. We're not changing permanent there. So you don't have to worry about Vale and went to this old vertical young people stuff. You ain't got to worry about that, friend. This is just something additional that is happening for more of an informal, for our informal chats, and this will be on the YouTube vertical stuff. So with my other productions and stories and all that stuff, it'll be what you guys are used to. Same for you, Martin. I see you saying the same thing. So thank you for your input, but just know this is a way for us to chit chat in a more intimate setting while me also appeasing the algorithm. Because if I don't appease the algorithm, I'll never get where I'm trying to get with these platforms. You stopped watching Housewives a long time ago. I fell off for a little while and then I caught up and I've been consistent since. They also need new producers. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with that side of it. I live here and I still enjoy the show. Oh, okay, and the ATL. Yeah, I haven't watched in years. Yeah, a lot of us have gotten rid of cable, but I have yeah, most people I know don't have cable anymore, but people have the streaming platform. So I don't watch it through cable. I watch it through I got YouTube TV. That's what I watch the Housewives on. And I got all these other platforms too. you end up paying as much. No, basically, I'm paying, I feel like, more than what I was paying for cable by the time it's said and done. When you get all these various platforms to watch all these different shows. Honestly, I haven't been a fan of ATL Housewives for 2 seasons, especially with Nene being gone, although she's messy but interesting. But I might watch since Porsha is returning and Kendi's gone. Yeah, I feel like the show definitely changed, not for the better, when Nene left. However, what I do feel is that Nene became very toxic towards the end. And I feel like I feel like she got toxic. She was just doing the most. And maybe not the last season. I feel like at a point they turned on her and started treating her as the like the has-been and mistreating her and all of that. But leading up to that, she just got a little too big for her britches, as they say. They think of what I'm trying to say. Too big for her britches. And so I feel like that's where and then they turned on her, I think, that following season. So I almost feel like there was a break that was needed for Nene, but I don't feel like it needed to be this long. I don't feel like it needed to turn into what it turned into. But and then I think she also had to see what side her bread was buttered on, so to speak, because things haven't been that great for her since. Okay, I get what you are saying. I'm going by what Fallon said in her interviews. See, wait, somebody said Fallon lied, Simon lied, and Porsha lied, and the pool boy lied. So we can't go with one end. We gotta look at everybody's angle. So you got what they say is 3 sides to every story. Well, with this one is what is it? 5 sides to every story. Each one of their sides, and then the truth. The truth resides somewhere in there. So yeah, because the truth is, in the very beginning, when it all went down, I will admit I took Fallon's side immediately. I took Fallon's side. I don't even reach out to people like celebrities and stuff. I don't DM them. You know what I'm saying, but public figures. I DM'd her. I've never admitted this. I DM'd Fallon. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry for what happened to you. I think you're a great addition to the show, blah, blah, blah. Because at that time, I was so interested in learning more about her as a character, a person. She had this, what we were used to as a grand lifestyle, which was the premise of the show. Now everybody living regular lives. Even Candy, she's supposed to be a multi-millionaire. She got Grammys and everything. And ain't nothing special about her lifestyle besides she always ripping and running and busy and opening up a new business. So yeah, that whole thing. Give me 1 second. I need to start my computer. This other computer. Let me see. I'm gonna play this from where I left off, hopefully.
Hi, and welcome. We all know why you're here. Kind of can figure out, let me start at the introduction video and then work my way through. A lot of the questions that you all have sent me will be answered when I start and tell the story in order. Everything I'm going to tell you can be verified. There are people in my life who can easily verify, yes, this did happen. Yes, he really did do that. Yes, he said that. Yes, she did go through that. I have no contact whatsoever with my ex-husband in any way, shape, or form. We do not communicate. We do not have mutual friends or anything where we communicate through those people. No contact. I cannot stress that enough because I feel like somebody's going to ask me, do you still talk to him? No. I ain't seen him. I ain't heard from him. I don't want to hear from him. And I will tell the entire story up until the last time I did hear from him and what happened. Yeah, this is my story. So I am just a regular woman who thought she met the one, and I didn't. Most people have never came in contact with a pathological liar. We typically come in contact with like a compulsive liar. It is not the same. A pathological liar has no reason for why they lie. And the lies that they make up, there's no limit to the lie. I was once a psychology major in undergrad. I didn't graduate with a psychology degree, but I'm very comfortable saying that he was a pathological liar. He was a narcissist. And yes, there was some mental, in my opinion, mental health issues going on. Pathological lying part, absolutely. So I want to preface all this by saying,
okay, I'm back. There was another thing I want to check out. I'm gonna read the rest of y'all comments and then let me see what time it is. I'm probably get out of here in the next 15 minutes or so. I wanted to double check also. Let me see. I wanted to see what it looks like when I add overlays. You may want to upload portrait video graphics. So if so, consider creating a new brand to keep them separate. So it's basically advising me that my current images I have in here that I usually put on screen might not work the same, and they don't. Oh, Lord Jesus. So much. Oh, Lord. Okay. How does that look? Okay, if we got full, at least I can do a full screen something. Then I never use my little Cash App thingamajig. So if I do my regular overlays, it covers half my face. So I really only have the option to do for this stuff I just already had in here. I don't like this, y'all. This too much. It's too much. I mean, I like it because we can inform. Like, I always struggle with YouTube about just hopping on here and rambling. But if I was able to hop on here and ramble like I do on Patreon, y'all would get more content. So I guess this makes me feel more comfortable with the idea. I really want to turn my music back on, but I just thought about I'm on YouTube, so I can't do that. So on Patreon, when we're usually just chit chatting, I have music playing in the background and all that because I loves my music. Okay, let me get back to y'all comments. Okay, where did I leave off? Okay, Fallon and Simon did not have any children together. Okay, thank you for that, Drea. In reading his citizenship documents, he was ordered to be deported in 1991. How was he here is still crazy. Now, I thought he actually, now I haven't followed closely, but I know some of the bigger pieces of it. He was actually deported at a point. I don't know if it was this occasion or if it was in the years prior to that, but I heard that he then created a fake alias to be able to get back into the country. So is that after, when you say how he was still here is crazy, is it that he did get deported in 91 and then came back? I just don't know the years because I know had it been since the 80s or something that he had been doing all this? Because when was his credit card fraud charges? I forgot. Like, I don't know the dates and stuff. Again, I haven't. It's a lot, y'all, trying to keep up with all these various stories. Right. Fannie Willis gave them the business. She was ready. She was like, I'm not on trial here. Trump is. Like, and said she definitely get her spice from. So that's why I have to see the father's testimony. So I'm gonna have to do a recap on that. I'm gonna need to watch that over the weekend. I ain't gonna be able to watch it today, but I'm gonna have to watch that over the weekend. The father and the man, the boyfriend, the ex-boyfriend, and then hell, even if we just informally chat about it over here. I live here. If you follow the case, you'll know they're not even together anymore. Right. Well, she said that in her testimony. And then they tried to go with the basically she violated employment rules because she's supposed to, make it known who she's dating. And I was like, that's real. That's real touchy, but I don't know. I do know, companies do that, organizations do that, where you have to, if you're, it's a word for it, but when you're, for some reason I want to say fornicating, but that's not it. It's not finagling. It's, whatever. But when you're, hanging out with somebody else at work in an intimate way, that you have to just at least put it on record with HR, just in case, there's things get a little messy. Drea saying, Simon came here in 1982. So I'm wondering, was that 1990? I think you said 1991 when he was supposed to be deported, if he actually did get deported and then created the fake alias and came back. But I'm not sure. I do know he created a fake alias and they said he came back, but I'm not sure the dates of that. So I don't know. Housewives of Vancouver was good. Yeah, it's just too many franchises, Saint, for me to keep track of. Like, I'm just not even interested in trying. I'm sure, honestly, that I would probably enjoy most of them. It's just too much TV. So when I prioritize things I want to find out about or watch, those extra housewife shows, they fall off the list. I'm like, I just don't have the bandwidth for it. I have to watch Danny's whole testimony. Oh, I saw it. I'm like, who is Danny? Then I just remember, I'm way behind on y'all comments. So we're back on fraternizing. Thank you, Chanel. Fraternizing. When people are getting it in with their coworkers on an intimate, personal level, fraternizing. But the Danny is from the Nature Boy trial. I have to watch Danny's whole testimony. I saw a clip where she told that woman, "Don't be cute with me." Oh, you're talking about Fanny. That was a typo. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's not Nature Boy. That's Fannie Willis. I watched Married to Medicine too. I watched ATL, Beverly Hills, Orange County, and Jersey. Kind of missed the petty drama. Yeah, I enjoyed. They're definitely, for me, mindless TV. So I enjoy when I have those things to watch. Porsha was married to who? I thought it was 3. Who is Porsha's third marriage? She was married to now, was she married before? What's his name? I'm forgetting his name. She was married to damn, it was almost coming out. The football player guy. That's when she first joined the show. She never married Dennis. They were engaged, if I'm not mistaken, but they never got married. They did get engaged, but they never got married because he was cheating on her. Cordell, thank you, Chanel. So she married Cordell. She was with Dennis and was engaged to Dennis, but they never got married. Then she, I ain't gonna say re-met Simon and they got married, but she only been married twice. Unless I'm missing something. Was she married before Cordell, y'all? I don't think I'm forgetting. No, I mean, I know she dated the guy who wasn't very interested in her, the skinny guy, treated her like ish. I can't think of, and that was on the show. I don't know. I think some people thinking she married Dennis when she didn't. This is the year of exposure, just getting started. Absolutely, Devon. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it because so many people who needs to be outed, so many predators out there who've been doing it a very long time are finally getting their just due in the court of public opinion. Unfortunately, most of it ain't criminal or nothing, like meaning the statute of limitations is passed or lack of enough receipts. But in the court of public opinion, everybody's on trial this year. Miss Robbie is still in disbelief that her son, Tim, was guilty. Tim is appealing his case. It's a waste of time. So Cheryl is saying Miss Robbie is still in disbelief that her son was guilty. That would be... See, y'all know I know stuff I can't be talking about. I'm just say this. I disagree with the first part of your statement, and I'm gonna move on. Totally disagree with it because it's not factual. I can't say too much. Here it is, though. What can I say? Patreon people, executives. I go to the to Patreon and talk to the executive people. That's why I call them executives. They help me make decisions. I can't share yet. Anyway, there's something coming down the pike next year, probably around fall or something, that will give Cheryl and anybody else who kind of feels partially that way in that first sentence, give y'all more clarity. Give y'all more understanding. I just can't do it right now. I can't, but it's going to get done. Loved last night. Thank you, Chanel. I loved it too. I could have, it could have been about 2 hours shorter in my opinion, but I definitely enjoyed it. That's why so much time had flown by. Does anyone watch Love and Hip Hop series? Yeah, no. No. I haven't watched the Love and Hip Hop. I used to watch Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, but honestly, it wasn't me. It was my ex. My ex was into certain shows. I mean, a long time ago. Ex, not nothing recent. But was into Housewives of Beverly Hill. That was the only reason I watched it, and I then started enjoying it. Vanderpump Rules. I would watch that. It was whatever. And Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, I think, was the only one that was out during that time. So I watched it back then, but I have not since. However, I will say that with Saucy Santana on it, because I know he's such a character, I was interested in checking this season out just from the previews. But then I forgot who I was in a personal, like people in my real life. I was in a group conversation, and people were saying he's a hot mess and he's irritating on the show. So then it made me not be as curious. So I just kind of forgot about it, to be honest. But it depends. If I'm bored enough, I might check it out. But honestly, I got so much other stuff on my to watch list that between all these platforms that I might not get around to it. I can't stand this vertical setup with these extra small comments at the top, but I'll suffer through for refresh. Yeah, we will continue to do this for like informal conversations like this. I like this because I know what I'll be able to do with this, because moving forward, when we do this, I'll just go live on YouTube. And yeah, so for the informal conversations, grin and bear it, friend, because I got to grin and bear with all these platforms and all these new things. So unfortunately, if you're going to roll with me, you got to roll with the heartache and pain. The good and the bad, the pros and the cons. Vel, you are crazy. Yes, that's what my doctor said. Nah, just joking. My doctor actually said I'm not crazy. Every time I thought I was like, she'll be diagnosing me like, am I bipolar? No, you're not. Am I schizo? No. Am I a sociopath like Darius Crooks? No, you're not. Am I a narcissist like Darius Crooks? No, you're not. Everything. I was like, damn, can you give me something? Diagnose me with something. Something ain't right, doctor. Spill the tea. I don't know what part we was talking about right there. Like the old format. Yeah, we talked about that. I have not watched Porsha Will Bring Me Back. I have not watched Porsha Will Bring Me Back. Okay, you'll end up back with the Housewives because of Porsha. Am I gonna ever catch up? Damn. Oh no, okay. I am not that as far back. Well, kind of, but not really. Y'all kind of talking to each other too, so I skip over some of those. Yes, she was Vel. Personally, I feel Nene felt the show couldn't go on without her. I mean, she sued the network. So, Dre, yes, I do feel like she thought she had more power over the show than she did, and she was a bigger star. I mean, she is. You can't take that away from her. Like, she definitely had a huge chunk of the pie as far as the worth of the show, the value of the show, but it still was able to continue without her. And wasn't a whole Bolo scandal. Nene wasn't on for that season. That was kind of a big deal. But with her suing the network, I will say, as I got more clarity on why she was suing the network, the racism, she has a ton of receipts. There's a lot. And there's a lot that happened behind the scenes with Kim Zolciak being a racist. What's his name? What's her husband's name? Croy Bierman bringing guns to the set, threatening the black people. It was a lot going on, y'all, that we never became privy to. So once I started hearing a lot of those pieces, and the fact that let's say the housewives, these housewives were able to launch product lines, do other projects, et cetera, that made them nearly billionaires and stuff. They weren't allowed to do those same things. Some people allowed to have a YouTube channel, some people not. Like all these sort of things. So when you look at that and the inequities that she talked about, and definitely the racism, I'm cool with her suing. I get why she sued for sure. It wasn't just her being a spoiled brat, but she also was a spoiled brat. Like I can see both sides of that. I was agreeing with you saying that well acquainted doesn't mean that you know a person like that. I'm still Team Fallon when it comes to her or Porsha. Yeah, I mean, it's fine, friend. It's fine. Totally fine. Like I said, I feel like they all have, their parts in it. I don't feel like I honestly feel like there are no victims in the situation. Yeah, there are no victims in it. They are all guilty. They've all victimized each other, is how I look at it. I listened to all 50 episodes and it was very interesting and said how people can be such liars and manipulative people. I pray she finds peace by doing this video. She found a lot more than peace, Lorna. So like God will turn your test into a testimony. This woman, because we're talking about multiple topics at a time. Y'all know I don't do this on our regular broadcast. I'll start ignoring comments once we change subject. That's why this is great, because we can be informed. I can jump around. I don't care. But as far as who the F did I marry, I forgot her exact name. Tisa Misa. I don't know. But she is in all kind of articles, like major publications. She has millions upon millions of views. I think now she on TikTok has over 2 million followers. She is going to end up being able to afford that $700,000 house. I believe, just because I know how things work behind the scenes, that there's a good chance this woman maybe get approached by some production companies, and you may possibly be looking at a documentary or a little movie, a series or something built on her story. She gonna be fine. She gonna be fine. So again, God will turn your test into a testimony. But also I think the part that made me interested as I started, just because I really was just kind of listening to see what the hell is everybody talking about with this. And then I got pulled in because I too have my own stories of people manipulating, being liars, catfishing, all of those sort of things, being manipulated by people who were in my life, who I actually knew in real life. And then they catfish me is a whole story. I don't know. Did I ever tell that story? Patreon executives, if you're in here, I know some of y'all are in here. Did I ever tell the story of me being catfished by somebody I know? Tisa Risa, thank you, Drea. Did I ever tell that story? If not, that's got to be our next story time. I cannot remember if I told that story or not. So anyway, I have definitely experienced manipulation and all of that. And then y'all know about Darius Crooks. So again, like I say, Darius Crooks ain't the only person who ever did nothing in my life to me. So that ain't why I'm not like hard broke or like, oh, I got to get you because you got me. No. Because if that was the case, y'all would see me with 20 series about the 20 to 30 other people who did things to me. The difference between Darius Crooks and all the other people is that Darius Crooks not only, I don't really care about what he did to me. Honestly, I don't. is that Darius Crooks continues to harm other people daily in real time. And since he did what he did to me and hundreds of other people in Chicago, that is the reason why he gets a series, gets multiple series. Drea says the husband, I'm gonna jump around a little bit. I just don't want to lose where I left off. Okay. Jump to the real time comments too. Drea saying the husband responded, she said was cheating with Bradley. I don't know. We haven't gotten quite that far. I do know that I did see something about the husband speaking, but I don't know who Bradley is. I don't know names. We ain't that far yet, friend. Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it. Okay, we talked about that. He came here in 1992, fraternizing. I saw that. Vel, I thought you had to report cash money on your taxes. Do you know what the limit or minimum? You have to shoot, if I'm not mistaken, you have to report all earnings, all cash earnings. But if there is a minimum, it will definitely be between 100 to 500. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a tax accountant. Like, you can Google that. I don't know the answer to that, unfortunately. Thank God, usually when I receive little my 1099s, they're all above that. So I don't know. Porsha was married to Cordell, I believe. Yes, Porsha was definitely married to Cordell, without a doubt. Who's the baby daddy? If we're talking about Porsha, then that would have been Dennis is her daughter's father. If we're talking about Fallon, because she also had a baby, the pool boy / assistant is her baby daddy. So I'm not sure. We've been jumping around a little bit. Vel, do not say anything about Tim Case. I will. I mean, I don't mind talking about it. I just have to be careful what the behind the scenes stuff that I talk about. That's all. But yeah, I'm okay. If y'all got questions about it, it's fine. Just if I can't answer, I'll let you know. I haven't watched Love and Hip Hop since Stevie J and Jocelyn. I think that's around the same time for me, friend. I think you still watch Vanderpump Rules. I see the previews all the time, and because I did once watch the show, sometimes I'm curious as if I would be interested, but then I don't recognize nobody no more, so it doesn't. I'm like, yeah, no thanks. Do you think we should have money for 6 months expenses? Yes, that's highly recommended. That they say you should do that, because you never know, for a rainy day. You absolutely want to do that. He's definitely irritating, extra. Who are we talking about? I don't know what we were talking about in that moment. But I thought that all of her lawsuits got dismissed for Nene. No, her lawsuit did not get dismissed. The judge basically said that they needed to go into arbitration instead. So they have been in arbitration for a couple years at this point, over a year for sure. So that case has not been dismissed. Nene Leakes and Bravo are, I should say, in arbitration. And then there was this big thing being made because they were like, "Ooh, Bravo is following Nene again," and so I don't know what all that was about. But no, they're in arbitration. Kendi just did a live about this. About which part? Because we talked about so much. The part about Simon and Porsha, or her just leaving the show. What part? She used to eat Andy up, and he said on Watch What Happens Live, Nene was his favorite. This was years ago. Yeah, they were very close. And then when she started calling him a racist, it became a problem. When she started airing too much. Well, first she was just airing stuff out in general, and then she started literally calling him a racist as well. The issue is, so some of that fallout, and even talking about Kendi, and I remember this in real time when it was going down, where during the pandemic and Black Lives Matter, when it was at its height, the ladies wanted to band together. The housewives of ATL ladies wanted to band together to approach the network about, for one, discrepancies, inequities, all these sort of things. And they wanted to do what they did with Friends, where everyone band together. They came to the studio together and they're like, you got to do this. And we demand this. And then also about specifically the Black Lives Matter stuff. And, we need to be more culturally sensitive and all of that. Well, what ended up occurring, instead of all the ladies approaching together as they were agreeing to do, Kandi approaches the network by herself, writes out this whole drawn out plan of how they can, be more culturally sensitive, address Black Lives Matter, all these other things. And she submitted it to Andy and I guess the other execs. They were like, oh my God, Kandi, this is brilliant. Thank you so much for helping us with this. And we want you to just guide us and blah, blah, blah. Next thing you know, Kandi gets in their good graces. All of a sudden, the tables turn. Kandi becomes, as we saw over the years, kind of the Nene of the group. Like, well, she never give what Nene was given, but she was the lead of the show. And then Nene got pushed out and all these other things started to happen. So the women were upset with Kandi because it's like, hey, we were supposed to do this together. Andy Cohen said it himself. Was this recently? I know I saw it recently. I feel like he said it recently on his show where he admitted that Kandi came to him, and one of the things that sparked their relationship and took it to the next level was that she came to him with the whole idea of like a whole plan for moving forward with Black Lives Matter. And then that season, how it looked had a lot to do with Kandi. But Kandi had basically swept all the other women to the side. Andy said it himself. Well, we already knew the other side of it. And then Andy said she is the one who came to him. So it's a whole thing. It's a lot behind the scenes that has occurred with that stuff. That sounds familiar, but tell it again. Okay, I won't be telling it over here. That gets told. Those story times they get told on Patreon. So I will tell I'll tell that story time. I'm just surprised that I haven't, but maybe I'm kind of thinking that I have not told that one because I think y'all be a little shocked by that one. Yes, I had. I think I did. Maybe I didn't. No, maybe I talked about it in counseling with my therapist. The husband responded. She said I read that, and we didn't have context because I don't know who Bradley is. I don't think that you told the catfish story. You did a surprising. If you did, I surprisingly don't remember. Okay. So yeah, that'll be our next story time. So remind me the next time we do our live, and we'll probably do one. We'll do one by Monday. Remind me in our next story time when I'm saying what should I tell y'all about. Remind me that I said this one, the catfish story. Just a catfish story. $600 for tax. Thank you, Mocha. Like I'm not an accountant. I don't know. I think 500 is the max you can make before. I do it somewhere up in there. I don't know. Saucy is irritating. Yeah, so that's what I'm hearing, that Saucy is irritating. Part of me is interested in seeing what that looks like, but we'll see. The part about the network being racist. I'm sorry. When y'all type like little bits and pieces, because I'm reading some in the comment, I don't know what the last piece was connected to this. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, maybe Kandi saying you said Kandi talked about this, and then I was like, I don't know what you're saying she talked about. You're saying the part about, see y'all, just put it together because I can't always remember what we talked about. But the part about the networks being racist. So did she, now we got to dig deeper. So did she say that yes, in fact, they were racist? Was that part of what she just said? Because before she was saying they wasn't, or was she doubling down on saying the network was not racist? Because there've been other people that have said a ton to confirm that the network has definitely done some things that are racist. Even the viewers, even the viewers. But what is she saying? And please put it in the comments so I'll be able to remember reference. But is Kendi saying that the network is racist, or is she saying they were not racist, or is not racist? Are not, is not, we're not. I don't know. Also, Miss Robbie had $2 million in cash and on her, so was she reporting it? No, Margin. We talked about this because that's why I was in her house. But some things we got to just take context clues. The reason she had the $2 million, and who the hell would have that much cash in their home? The only time people have that much cash in their home is when they are hiding it from the IRS. So no, she was not reporting that money. That was the purpose of it being in her home versus in a bank where it would be safe from fire and all these other things. Because if that house caught on fire, all them Walmart bags of millions of dollars would have just burned up in flame. It would have been smoke. So no, that was not reported. And that was her purpose. Tell us about it, Vail. Uncle Vail. Please don't comment. That makes me feel so old, Uncle Vail. Uncle Vail. Yeah, so Patreon, I do the story times. I ain't never getting comfortable enough to do that over here on YouTube. Too many public eyes. Especially the way I tell the stories on Patreon. Now I'll share some things, vague things, but that catfish story is definitely a Patreon story. I think that you are too nice sometimes. I'm a public figure. I'm not sure what you mean by Vail. I think you are too nice sometimes. I think I'm nice enough on the public platforms, but I also draw boundaries for people. So I don't know what. I guess get more specific when you say you are too nice sometimes. Like what's too nice about how I move on these internet streets? Because you want me to start cursing people out like Darius Crooks? You stupid bitch. And like, what am I supposed to? I don't know. Because I think I'm pretty direct. And sometimes I am like, oh, back off, Vail, back off. put the dogs up, put the dogs up. You don't want to maul nobody through the comments. Oh my gosh, I can't stand autocorrect. Correct. Okay. She said she did not experience racism and was supported. Yeah, she did say that. She did say that. However, they have a lawsuit where they're currently in arbitration because of the racism. It did not get dismissed, which it would have if there was no evidence to work with. So there's that. On top of that, not only have the only people who really were hesitant to talk about racism were people who were currently employed. And she was, but you said just the other day she still was saying that. But also keep in mind that Kendi, although not technically employed on the show anymore, she still has deals with Bravo. So I take things like that with a grain. Like I like to look at things from all angles. And for me to take your word for it, I got to feel like you don't have a true vested interest. It would not serve, just looking at it from all angles, and I'm not saying that she has not experienced any racism, but I'm just saying if I'm going to take people's word for it that it doesn't exist. Like I hear what she's saying, but am I going to take it as factual to real life? I'm going to take it with a grain of salt because I'm going to say, well, if there were actually racism and you were to say that they were racist and you experienced racism, would it possibly affect your bag? Would it affect your business? In her case, it absolutely would. She has TV deals, she has movie deals, and she has whatever other stuff we don't know about behind the scenes. But we definitely know she has the TV show. What was that show called, y'all? The Old Lady Gang Show or whatever it's called. Because that was supposed to be coming back. I don't know if it's still coming back. But then they also had the movie with Bravo. I forgot the name of it. But that movie, but also there's supposed to be a new project because I think her or Todd talked about it. Even when they talked about the last conversation, even Andy Cohen said himself, during the last conversation that he had with Kendi and Todd when it was made official that she wasn't coming back to RHOA, there was the discussion of the deals, the other deals they still had on the table, the other projects that they would be working on together. So am I going to say, knowing that I have all that invested, they some racists? Hell no. Them checks ain't been signed? No. That money ain't in my account yet? No, absolutely not. No racism. I've been treated fairly, of course, because they're paying me. I've been treated very fairly. Okay, looks like I made it through all the comments, only because we're about to also, I've enjoyed this time with y'all. How long? Yeah, we've been on an hour and a half. This has been fun. This is great. So we have something else that we can do where we can join together and all those good things. So last comment is I think Margin is breaking down what she meant by Veil, you are too nice. Veil, I think about dating you are too nice because of what you have said about your friends. You are very kind, but I also like you because you are always very respectful at all times. Oh, okay. I'm not always respectful at all times. I'll go in on somebody. Don't put me on no pedestal now because you get disappointed. But yes, I am. If I love you, I'm going to treat you nicely. And in my dating world, I'm not a person that I'm trying to make a person feel loved. But honestly, if you talk to people I've dated, they'll be like, they wouldn't necessarily always agree with what your version of me. I'll just put it that way. I have sides. You're seeing the public perception of me. And from that perspective, yes, I agree. I ain't giving you no phone numbers to none of my exes, though. You be like, he did what? I wonder if Candy and Todd will stay married. It was just a lot of rumors around about divorce. Yeah, there was. I mean, it could be. Have they hit 7 years yet? Is it the 7-year itch for them? Because they say around the 7th year of marriage, it gets tough again. Then you kind of hit autopilot again after that. So I don't know. It could be the 7-year itch, but definitely there were rumors of discord between them, and you saw it on Todd's YouTube channel. You saw it in other ways, even on the show, on the housewife shows. There was little digs he was throwing here or there with her. Could be that they've resolved that stuff. Could be that because it was so much bubbling in the public perception and public world that they let's reel that in. Let's put up appearances. And they could be at this point putting up appearances, and that's what we're living through. And then but the truth will always come out in the wash. So I enjoyed this live. Glad I caught you. Yeah, me too, Nicole. It was good to see you. Glad to hang out. Candy absolutely confirmed she still has deals with Bravo in that same life. There you go. So again, Drea, I hear her, and I'm like, if that's what you got to say, Candy. No racism. You've always been treated fairly. Obviously, you still got deals on the table. Of course, you've been treated fairly. I can't think of many times when people was giving me that bag where I'd be like, oh, they treated me so unfairly. So yeah, that's kind of where I am with it. But anyway, with that, I'm gonna let y'all go. If you are interested, we will be live streaming the Who the F Did I Marry series. I just said we're gonna do the whole thing, but we'll see. We might do 2-3 hours. Because I am going to be multitasking as well, but giving some commentary. So if you can hang with that, I've already sent out the notification. It will start at 11:35 Central, 12:35 Eastern. I keep wanting to say Pacific, Eastern, and we'll be on for a couple hours. So hope to see you there. So till next time, take care and be blessed. Peace.